Hi Ian, it's Paula. Here are your exercises that I recommend for you to do maybe every other day and see how you get on. I'm going to just look and keep an eye on the time and make sure we do about 15-20 minutes. And if there are any exercises you're unsure of, let me know, okay? So we're going to start off with some exercises standing, then we're going to go to the floor, okay? So put your feet together, nice and tall, standing with your shoulders relaxed, okay? And then turn your feet into a 10 to 2 position and then put your heels up and underneath. So what you'll find then is that your feet are in a good alignment all the way up and through up to the shoulders, okay? So just roll the shoulders round and then place your hands on top of each other and just gently move on a rotation side to side. So we're just going to mobilize the back up a little bit, okay? I want to try and make this a flowing kind of sequence for you, so that you can actually then get into a little bit of a rhythm yourself. Now, what I want you to do is just start to reach and stretch by putting your opposite hand onto your hip and just lean gently over to one side and then the other. Okay, and we're just going to keep moving and just flow through the exercises. Okay, so I'm now going to look at a diagonal movement with the arms. So we're going to raise one arm up and then raise the other one up. So nice and slowly on a diagonal. So that's your single arms. Then what we're going to do is we're going to actually operate them in a together motion. So side and side. And again, you just add a little bit of rotation. Keep those feet flat on the floor and just move through the center, changing positions, okay? So let's move on because I want the rhythm and the flow to help with the back mobility as well. So hands go on tops of the legs. I'm going to turn to the side and I want you to tuck your chin underneath and I want you to just roll down with your hands and I want you to just arch the back as you go. Now, it is entirely up to you how far you go. Reach back up to the top, roll the shoulders back and down. So we're going to go for a roll down. Tuck your chin underneath. We're going to do 3 of them. So we're going to do one more. So tuck your chin, curve your spine, arch the back, take it down nice and slowly, and then all the way up. This time we're just going to stop halfway and do a half roll down. So we're going to tuck the chin. We're going to let the spine curve. You're going to finish at your knees and you're going to push your bum out and flatten out your back. Can you see that's a half roll down? Now I want you to curve the back up to the top and roll all the way up. Half again for me. So tuck, hands to knees with an arch of the back and then push your bottom out and away, which will flatten your back. Then arch into like a cat position and come all the way up. So let's go one more time. So roll, hands to knees, push your bottom out, flatten out your back, so mobilizing the spine and then all the way up. Okay, wonderful. So take yourself to the floor. So just gently take it down. I want a cat position. So I want your hands directly underneath your shoulders and I want your knees directly in line with your hips. So from this position, we have a flat back. I now want you to curve your spine and then back to neutral. So I want you to mobilize, tucking your pelvis underneath and pushing the shoulder blades up to the ceiling. So this is your cat position and we're just going to move through this movement of mobilizing your spine. Let's do 2 more. Okay, so what I want you to do now is think about the position that you're in and take your right leg and I want you to extend it behind you and then tuck it in and arch the back. So extend and tuck. So drive your knee up and through towards your belly button and arch your spine. So we're having that lovely movement. Don't worry if you can't get your leg as high as long as it is off the floor. So let's do one more and then we'll change sides. So tuck your chin underneath. So go back into your cat and if you want to do a cat movement in between moving the legs, that's fine. Left leg, extend and tuck. Extend and tuck. And I want you to really start to think about your back arching and tucking, extending your leg. Wonderful. Let's do 2 more. Perfect. Okay, so back into cat position, back onto the right leg. I want you to imagine that you're just lifting your leg up to one side on a 90-degree angle. So you can see this is what I would call a hydrant lift. So if you're a dog and you're cocking your leg up against the side of a hydrant, just lifting. Again, please don't feel you have to go as high as me. And I'm just moving through that movement on the right side. So I'm going to do 2 more. Just lift and lower at your own speed. Now again, from here, if you want to do a cat stretch, you can. And then move on to the left leg. So lift and lower. So again, I'm moving your hips. I'm mobilizing your back. Thinking about your core strength as well whilst we're here. So lift and lower. Lift and lower. Okay, let's do 2 more. So now let's go into a child's pose. Now, depending on your availability of movement in your hips, I want your bottom towards your heels. Then stretch your shoulders. Now come back up onto the fronts of the arms, fronts of your hands, and child's pose again. So we're just going to move almost through cat position into child's pose. 2 more. Wonderful. 1 more. Alrighty, back into your cat position. So your hands are pointing forwards, your fingertips are pointing forwards. What I would like you to do is I want you to move your hands round to 9 o'clock on a clock face. So we're actually arching the back in a lateral position. Back to 12 o'clock and then move your hands round to 2 and to 3 o'clock. So this is called a rainbow. So you can see that we're just moving the hands round and moving your back and letting that back do the work, okay? Back across. So I just want to do 3 rainbows. Feel that stretch in the back. And then we're just going to do 1 more. And then we're going to pretend that we're a dog and we've got a tail. Okay, so we're just going to finish off our rainbow. Walk it around. And then back to 12 o'clock. So that's working the top section. Now I want you to imagine that we've got a tail. And I want you to just wag your hips side to side. So this is showing you from the side. I've put my stripy trousers on so you can see. So what I now need you to do is wag side to side and squeeze the muscles in the sides of your waist. Okay, so we're wagging our tail. Now don't get carried away. It's only a small wag, mobilizing the spine side to side. All right, let's go through those again. All right, so standing up nice and tall. Let's do some rotations. So hands on the top, rotate side to side. This should all become nice and synchronized for you as we go through. Excellent. Let's stretch and reach. Stretch and reach. And again, the more you do these every other day, you'll feel such a difference. Okay. Let's open up the arms. So let's go 1 and 2. You'll get yourself in a lovely flow. Then we're going to start to use both of the arms in a diagonal position. So into chest and open, open, open. Lovely. And then we're going to go into our roll down. So hands on the tops, tuck the chin, roll down. Slowly arch the back and roll up. Now let's just go into our halfway roll down. So onto the hands, down to the knees, push out the bottom, flatten the back, and now arch and lift. Wonderful. 1 more half roll down, and then we'll move to the floor. So all the way down, lengthen out your back, arch like a cat, and up we come. So Ian, to the floor we go, into our cat position. So we're just going to arch the back. So flat to start with, arch and lift, and lower, arch and lift. I'm going to work off 4 repetitions now. That's 2. In comes 3, and 1 more for 4. Right leg, send it out behind you and start to tuck in to the chest. Extend the right leg and tuck. Let's do 2 more. Lift and lower. 1 more. Change legs for me. So get your balance in your cat. Extend the left. Squeeze and arch. Extend and squeeze. Let's do 2 more. And then we went on towards our fire hydrant. Okay, so cat position, right leg, lift to the side 4 times. Quite challenging when you get going on them. 1 more. Find your balance. Left side, fire hydrant, lift. Wonderful. We're going to go 1 more and then we're going to go into child's pose. So bottom goes to heel and we lengthen out the arms. We come back up. We drop back down into child's pose and we're rocking forward and backwards. You've got 1 more to go and then we're working into our rainbow. So we have our hands at the front and we move them to 9 o'clock. So cat position. Walk the hands around. Walk them all the way around to the other side. Walk them around. Walk them back to the other side. So now that you've got your rainbows done, let's move to our wagging of our tail. So I want you to move your tail in a nice waggy position. So it's the hip movements and the squeeze through the back I'm looking for. Well done. Brilliant. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move to your lying on your back. Okay, so gently move yourself around. Take yourself down to the floor carefully and give your knees a lovely hug. Now relax your head to the floor, Ian, so I don't want you in a tensed position. I want your head to the floor and I want the knees coming in. Keep hold of the right leg and extend the left leg out. And then get hold of the left and extend the right. So I want you to just keep moving left and right. Hugging one knee, extending the leg out. Try and keep your shoulder blades to the floor and try to keep your hips facing the ceiling as if you had headlights on your hips and they're shining up to the ceiling. Wonderful. So this time I want you to hug both knees together. Again, give that a nice big squeeze. Put your feet to the floor but keep your knees bent. This is what we did on the couch. And I want you to take your knees over to one side. Hold that stretch. Bring them back to the centre and then take them over to the other side. And we discussed about how one side is tighter than the other. We're just going to do this 1 more time. Centre over to one side. And then centre over to the other side. Just keeping that back nice and mobile. Okay, so back to centre. Keep your knees bent. Take your right leg and place it over the left leg. So we now have this triangle position that we talked about in the room together, okay? I don't want you to cross your legs as if you were sitting at a table. I want you to try and really aim for a triangle position here. Now take that off and do the same with the other side. So I just want you to get into the habit of creating a shape of a triangle. And we're going to repeat. So take that one off that leg and take it over onto the other. If you want to take your hand and place it on the knee, you can, and give it a bit of a helping hand. And then the other side and over. Remember, you can pause me at any time, okay? If I'm going too fast or slow, or you want to hold a stretch a bit longer. Now place both feet flat on the floor with your knees bent. And what I would like you to do is tuck your pelvis and try and get your hips into the air. And then relax and take the bridge down. So we're going to roll through the spine, keep the shoulder blades on the floor, push through your heels and drive your hips up to the ceiling. So I want you to think about your vertebrae on your back, and I want you to just try and get each little vertebrae to open and work, and let the muscles on either side loosen and stretch. Okay, we're lifting and tipping into bridge, and we're going all the way down. Now remember, you can rewind me, you can do more of the exercises that you like. This is where I'm going to finish. So we're going to come out of your bridge, you're going to bring your knees up, give yourself a hug, and then however you do this, you get up off the floor. So I'm just going to put my feet down, I'm going to roll to the side, and then I will then endeavour to get up nice and safely. Ian, it's all yours. The link is yours. You can play it, rewind it, pause it, move back a section, see how you go. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, but please, please, please come back to me if you've got any problems. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.